Hello everybody and welcome back to the Animal Bus Videos YouTube channel. I'm Animal Bus Videos, otherwise known as Animal Central, depending on what day of the week and what video you're watching. And welcome to Adstow Bus Station on the Adstow project. We're back on this map by popular demand. You all absolutely love the videos we did on here previously. The developer got in touch and I believe enjoyed the videos and had a proper look through them as well. So we are back doing a little bit more driving because I absolutely adored this 16A to Castleton. I mean, I can't wait for the 16 to Ashbourne as well. Both routes, I think, will be some of my favourites in the Omsi 2 world. Absolutely stunning routes, lovely scenery. So I thought there's been a brand new Worcester repaint pack, I believe, released by Turbo Ted, and the very, very talented repaint artist. It replicates all of the different Worcester City branding that has appeared on the B7RLEs in real life. So we've started off with the We Are Worcester City brand that I believe features on 69453. I set this up a few days ago. I'm filming it now. But whatever WX59BZG is, I believe it is 69453. Whatever that is, it has appeared in this livery. So I thought we'd start with this and then we'd have a little look at the Salt Road brands as well, see what they're like. And throughout, we can have a little bit of a discussion about what's changing with First Bus in Worcester and the excitement that I have around the WX59 batch of Eclipses. For now, though, we will get ourselves on the move. We were due to leave a short time ago. The stand is there. It's almost as if I have planned it so that we can quite literally just turn straight into the stand. So there we go, we'll get everybody on and then we will make our way. I do absolutely love this livery. The last time I went to Worcester, my main focus was on the Citaros. That was purely because now you go to Worcester, there are no more Citaros left. In fact, within the First Bus operation, the only Citaros left on fleet are the ones in Cornwall. So if you haven't already, do go and check out my video of the Park and Ride services in Truro, as the Park and Ride Citaros are scheduled to go next year, with the contract renewals. At first, haven't bid for it, I do find very strange. But they are going to be going with that contract renewal, and they are going to be replacing them with newer vehicles. However, although the Citaros were my main focus at the time of my visit, I believe a couple of years ago now, that is actually quite scary. I should have also probably done a couple of Eclipses. And the reason I probably should have done a couple of Eclipses is because they've started transferring some of these out. Worcester is wanting to become an ADL depot. Worcester is going entirely ADL. And they've got some ADL E400s from South Yorkshire, from Sheffield, from Olive Grove. They've got some, I believe, E4. They've transferred their B90Ls out of fleet and they've gone to Swansea. In return, they've then got from Swansea some ADLs. And they've also given Swansea their streetlights. So their streetlights have gone over to Swansea, and from Swansea they have then got ADL E200s, with the idea that Worcester is to become an ADL depot. And they have in the past attempted to become a Citaro Mercedes depot, then a Volvo depot, and now they want to become an ADL depot. So it's all been interesting, all been fun. I should do with these things. As I say, they are wanting to go ADL. So a couple of these already have disappeared off. They have appeared in Bristol. Very random, with Bristol wanting to go sort of ADL biogas bus. A couple of Eclipses is very random. So because they got rid of all of their Eclipses initially, because these were all initially West of England Eclipses. So they got rid of all of these, and now they're getting them back again. But they've got a couple of green ones. I don't think they've got any more as of yet. There is only, I think, 1 or 2 there for now. But I am under the impression that the rest of these are going to be moving across. in return for the idea that stuff like E200 MMCs are replacing them on the 144s. There is a slightly reduced capacity with the E200 MMCs versus the Eclipses, and I would imagine the drivers will probably know a difference in drive quality at Worcester. However, running one type of bus and one manufacturer is cheaper than running two, so thus why Worcester is going fully ADL. The idea again behind that as well is the fact that running ADLs is probably also going to be cheaper to maintain and cheaper to run, rather than running, as I say, the Eclipses that will probably guzzle a little bit more fuel on the 144 service. With Worcester being such an isolated first SOPCO, the idea is, with an operation like that, is to run it as cost effective as possible. So as long as it is keeping itself rather self-contained, it's doing a good job, the middle and red operation, what's left of the middle and red operation is working, then everybody remains happy. That does look, that is quite nice on the lighting actually. Oh, I think, oh, yeah, we do like some good lighting. I should probably get rid of all of that text actually. There we go. And put the sound back on. Excellente. I do absolutely love this vehicle. I love driving. Driving the ones I've driven in real life. They're really, really nice to drive. I've driven I drove a BX56 plated example, an ex-West Midlands one. Now it was an older Euro 3 style Eclipse. Now it was up to Euro 6, but it was a Euro 3 style Eclipse with a modern dashboard like this. It was absolutely gorgeous. Mechanically, it was one of the best buses I have driven to date. It was absolutely just beautiful. It just continued to work. It did the job absolutely astonishingly. Didn't miss a beat at all. It was so smooth, and it made me want to drive more of these. So I do want to drive more, especially the more modern variations of the Eclipses. They're the ones that First Plus West Yorkshire have, for example. So I do want to drive more of them. I mean, the opportunity may present itself at some point. You never know. I know enough people who may acquire them for their own businesses and bits like that. So you never know. The opportunity may present itself. However, for now, my one experience of driving a real life Eclipse was just as good as I expected them to be. And I, as I said, do hope to get a go in one again at some point soon. But it is a shame that Worcester are losing these. I was going to visit Worcester to sample them, but having seen at least one has already made the move to Bristol, I think it is going to have to be whenever my next trip to the west of England is. I haven't been to the west of England in 2 years now. It is very weird to think that the last time I was there was 2 years ago. I do want to visit again. I really do. It's not intentional that I haven't been in 2 years. I mean, we went just before they got rid of the B7s in Bristol itself. I believe it was not Lawrence Hill. Okay, it wasn't Lawrence Hill. It were another operation. They got rid of their B7s shortly after we visited, and quite a few of them then ended up moving to Cornwall. And I think since Cornwall, I think they've also been withdrawn of same said vehicles. Well, I do need to make a visit over to Bristol, just for some B9 runs, a couple of Eclipses if they've got them, and to sort of catch up on a few bits, a few random bits. I mean, I wouldn't mind having a little look at Bath, going on those little Bath City solos that I think they've still got. As I say, things do keep being cascaded, but I believe they've still got some Bath City Eclipses, so it would be really, really nice to have a go on them. Oh, not Bath City Eclipses, solos. I meant solo. Why didn't I say solos? I'm driving an Eclipse. I just thought I just went into autopilot. No, I mean the Optare solos. They've still got quite a few of their SRs, I think, and I think that they were the same specification. Same specification as the ones that were in Cornwall, that I also am led to believe is the same SR specification as the ones as the two at High Peak and the ones at Stagecoach Manchester. I believe the ones that Stagecoach Manchester had, because I'm under the impression that these new Mallow Stratas are replacing quite a few of them, and that, if not all of them, that is such a shame, because I did want to go on more of those SRs. But hey ho, it keeps it exciting, as it does with these things. But I believe they are the same spec. Now I don't think I've done a proper Cornish SR. I mean, I've been on the older solos that have now been withdrawn, quite a few of them. I've done the Mercedes little things that they've got running around on the Mousel. I've done all of them bar one. There is one last Mousel solo I require, and then I have done all of them. So that is next year's annual Cornwall visit job, to get that, and hopefully first will still be running the park and ride contract at that point, because there is one more Citara I require a film of. I have been on all of them. I went on, I can say I've been on every single one. There is just one of them I don't have a video of, and that's because the bus got that busy when I was on it. It was impossible to get a video on. It then also got stuck in a lot of traffic, so it wouldn't have made for a good video anyway. But I have been on all of them, and there is just one more I do want to get a video of. And then, as I say, a couple of the Optare solos may be nice. The problem is, though, is there's not much that first do that warrant the solos. And when they do utilise these solo SRs that they've got left on service work, they do end up going on routes like the Tinner, and I do not desire sitting on an Optare solo on the Tinner or the U1 or the U1 or the U1A for a prolonged period of time. That's not within my personal interests, should I say. Where's the lighting? Where is the lighting? It's not on that side, shall we say? Ah, it's behind us. Okay. This is just lovely, this whip bridge. Really, really is nice. So I am trying to get these Omsi 2 videos out a bit more. I do have some plans for Train Sim ones as well. At the moment, though, I've been quite busy just with life generally. Quite a few bits just in the works, having to be sorted, stuff like that. So as I said, I do apologise. The series is gonna be a little bit, continue to be inconsistent through August. It'll get back to normal in September. September will be when this all gets back to normal. If it gets back to normal before that, then that's just like an extra special sort of beneficial, unintentional thing. Is the nicest way to put it. Because unfortunately, I'm doing that much at the moment, off and on camera, with various different bits and bobs, that. Come on, boss. I'm doing various bits with life, that means I've not got as much time, sadly, to sit down as I usually do. Sit down and just have a little drive on Omsi. I am, as I say, hoping that as we're going to September, I've got a bit more of a routine being set up. A few other bits that I'm doing, sort of stopping at that point. So hopefully then, when I get a bit more of a routine, these videos will return to normal alongside of a few other bits. So, as I say, apologies, it still isn't where I want this series to be this month. However, as I say, it's just a really busy month, and unfortunately, I do that much in this world. Something does have to take the brunt of that, and sadly, it is this series. So again, I do apologise for that. However, we're having a nice run up to Castleton, and I would imagine in the next video we'll probably do a run back from Castleton if you lot have enjoyed this video, because I do absolutely love driving this route. It really is such a stunning route to drive. I mean, it is very weird driving to the virtual Castleton, because the week that I record this, I drove to the real life Castleton 5 times. So, or was it 5 or was it 4? It might have been 4 actually. I'm going anyway. No, I think it was. Yeah, it was 4. Yeah, it was 4 times. I drove to I drove to the real life Castleton in Derbyshire 4 times. So. Unless this is based off Castleton in Manchester. However, I do think that it will be based more off Castleton in Peak District with the idea of scenery and countryside. But never say never. Never say never with these things. The timetabling, I've something I've just clocked onto. The timetabling for this is quite inconsistent. It's not a developer fault. That is it's a very typical Omsi 2 thing. To not calculate how much time you need between stops. It's basically the Omsi 2 is the earliest form of AI intelligence timetabling. It is the earliest form of AI predicting timetables for bus services, and just proves that it doesn't always necessarily work. So that's how I see it, because Omsi 2 is AI. It's AI traffic. I mean, it sets up its own AI timetables that you do have to aid. But as you can see with this, it is quite inconsistent, because there's bits where we were late, and then there's bits where we were mega early, and if I'd have stopped on the mega early bits, I'd have been late quite catastrophically. So it's an Omsi timetabling thing. I mean, it relatively, on the whole, it does have it okay. I mean, it's just like in real life. Relatively, on the whole, the AI timetables are okay. It's just, there are some sections, like there are in real life, where Omsi 2 has gone, oh, I don't know if I should give you loads of time or little time here. And you can witness that with the, I believe it comes up on the screen, the red one. Yeah, it does come up on the screen, the red writing that you can see. Just a sort of fun little cool thought there is everybody bangs on about, oh, AI timetables and this and that. I mean, all you needed to do was load up Omsi 2, make your route, do your times, sorted. It still astonishes me. I mean, it's a discussion I do have quite a lot, but it still does astonish me just how far this game has come. I mean, the Omsi 2 is 11 years old now, and 11 years ago when they made it, I don't think they'd have ever imagined it would be this. It would have the capability of becoming this. I mean, you look at how this started. You look at how this started, and you just wouldn't have thought it. You just would not have thought that a humble little game based in Berlin with quite an open platform, just quite a very basic game with an open platform, would have the capabilities to do this. I mean, they made the editor an open software to use. I mean, they made it so that you could make things, but it was never obviously advertised. It was just something that people started started using and started finding and started messing about with, and nowadays I'm driving in a fictitious sort of, it's more Devon, is this, isn't it? Sort of a fictitious Devon, Devon Cornwall-y sort of style vibe. Yeah, the game was intended to drive the 92 around Berlin during the fall of the wall. Does remind me I do need to do another trip to Berlin. I do. It is a city that I do absolutely adore. I really do. I mean, I've done a couple of videos. I didn't do, from memory, I didn't do that many on my last visit. I sort of just took some personal time off. That was quite nice. I mean, I've got a couple of other trips coming up soon, and very soon. One of which you'll see a couple of videos from, all being well. Another one you won't have even known until I mentioned it, and that's sort of the difference. I mean, it's getting the balance. I mean, there are some trips I do absolutely love, sort of exploring and doing filming and bits like that, but myself, like every other YouTuber and everybody else, does need a little bit of a break, and that is what second trip is for, is just a little personal trip. I mean, as I say, when I went Berlin, I think I only did one video. I can't remember doing oh no, I did the 500 MMCs as well. I think it was just like 2 or 3 I did. It wasn't many at all. And it was quite nice to just have a bit of time off to just explore and have a wander and not be sort of constantly travelling about on buses and trams and trains and bits like that. Even though, to be fair, I can happily on a day off for leisure spend the day riding around on the trams. Those trams were absolutely awesome. Although this time round I did a lot more trekking using sort of railways. I did a lot more focus on the railway network. Because the first time I went, they all sort of, they had the 8 euro ticket or whatever it was. They had that, and that was absolutely amazing. On my more recent trip, I got an All Zones Berlin ticket that included Potsdam and the Potsdam local network. And upon arrival into Potsdam, I saw not the oldest in sort of Europe. And if you go further than Europe, certainly not the oldest. However, I saw a pretty old Thatcher tram rock up, and then one showed up in service, and it got very exciting. And it was one of those moments where I was like, "Oh, should I do it? Should I film it for the YouTube?" I thought, you know what? No, I'll take one for myself. And I just had and because I obviously hadn't done any research, I sort of just thought, oh, let's have a little day wandering around Potsdam, Christmas market's time. Just wander around the Christmas market, see what else is there, get a couple of photos, have a wander into some shops, see the culture, bits like that. See where the conference was held, all of that lot. And then this Thatcher tram showed up, and it got very exciting. So because I obviously hadn't done my research, because it was a bit of time off, I just enjoyed it for myself. There is a video on YouTube of sort of like a backseat video, but it isn't obviously a proper themed vlog. She has been impaled. She has unimpaled herself from the bus stop flag. There is a backseat video, well, backseat style video on the tram, on this channel that I don't believe has released as of yet. It is on schedule, I think. So there is that, but again, that's different to sort of planning a vlog, doing the whole thing, riding up and down all day. It was merely just a single tram ride, a single trip on a tram, and then from memory, I think we just caught something random back afterwards. I think whatever we caught afterwards was very busy. Just caught a random tram, as you do. But it was pretty cool, because then I did a little bit of research after that and found that BVG, up to a year or two prior to me visiting Berlin, were using the same style Thatcher trams, Steph Henschen's ones, and that recently that you don't realise. Don't realise just how recent some of these things are. But it's pretty cool nevertheless, pretty cool. But I do need to have a little explore of other places as well. There are a few other places on my sort of to-do list. Prague is certainly one of them. I do really want to go to Prague, have a little ride on their very iconic trams. Very, very iconic trams. I have a good friend of mine who goes to Prague quite a lot. I see all of their videos and photos and bits like that, and I think, yeah, I do need to visit at some point. It's one of those places where you can do a little bit of transport, you can do a little bit of culture as well, and they'll be quite nice. It's one of those where you can have quite a nice balance for the day. And then more locally, and there's a few places I still want to visit for buses. I've filmed quite a lot recently, going back to sort of buses and going back to the channels and bits like that. I have filmed, and I am filming as well in the process. I'm sort of midway through the process of the week of filming a fair bit. I'm in the process of filming and catching up on quite a lot of West and South Yorkshire related bits. There is going to be quite a few videos. They're going to be peppercorned within the Hong Kong content, purely because of their current relevance. The idea initially was to just have the Hong Kong content as a sort of base series, cracking on continually on its own without interruption. However, there's been that much has changed very recently, vis-a-vis new services, like you'll have all seen the Peak Pathfinder 62 with its brand new buses that just had to be released. It's a very, very new service. At the time that I filmed it, the bus was quite literally 3 days. Oh, that truck did a weird. Was quite literally 3 days into its public service life. So it was one of those that had to be released there and then. Otherwise, it wouldn't have had the same context behind it. There's a couple of others that are also in a similar situation. Some of them not so major as others, so they'll be released later on. Some of which are incredibly prominent and do need to be released, and some do just need to be filmed. That is, as I say this, there is a video I'm filming tomorrow that is quite urgently in need of filming. So you'll see a few bits peppercorned within the Hong Kong content. There'll be some that will be uploaded after, as we go towards the end of the year. But as I say, the reason for that is there's that much current affairs going on that some content just had to be filmed. Some bits just had to be done. I still absolutely love this route. I really, really do. It's the fact that you do the rural bit, you go over sort of like the reservoir and dam, and then you're on a dual carriageway. The sheer variety of what you get is just astonishing. Really, really is. Really, really is. But yeah, there's also quite a lot more very exciting content from Hong Kong coming along, and there is a fair wad of stuff that I filmed. The stuff that's sort of released so far is quite literally only the starting points of where I explored, and as the sort of series of videos continues along, you'll notice the sort of the content becomes a bit more in depth, a bit more precise, a bit more exploration of it. Oh, there's a bus stop there. Forgot about that. And there is actually somebody wanting to get off. I saw the flag at very last minute then. That was a very last minute seeing the flag. But you notice as it goes on, the adventures become a lot more extensive. There's a lot more sort of focus on certain bits, and I have saved, as you would expect, I have saved my most exciting videos till last. I have saved them till last, so because I want to obviously build up the hype, as you do, and hopefully hopefully with the videos that are currently released, gauge the audience ready for the really exciting stuff, ready for the videos that even I look back and I go, yeah, that's a proper whopper of a video. Because we all do them as YouTubers, where there were some videos that, I mean, we all love the videos that we make, we enjoy the videos that we make, but there's always some that are always my favourite few, and there's definitely out of like top favourite few that I've ever done, there's definitely a couple of the Hong Kong videos in that, so there's a lot to look forward to. Oh, we're going round, okay. I can't remember this bit. Oh, that car's just driven in. Why? You could tell I'd made an error. You didn't have to just sort of like pull into me. Sorry about that. I mean, one of them has just stayed in that lane. And it doesn't, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why that just pulled into me. I mean, I was entitled to go around in that lane. It didn't sort of change. It didn't change paths. The car just decided it wanted to be within the Worcester city bus. So it merged into said bus. Thinking of Castleton, as we are near the terminus, as I say, the terminus in Castleton here is inspired on Whitby, but the name Castleton is Peak District. Now, the actual real-life Peak District reminds me that I still need to get 2 of the Peak Sightseer Tridents. I've not done as well as getting those Tridents as I thought I would, and we are like midway through August, so they are on sort of my higher end to-do list. I have been on, it's 18303 and 19107. Now, I have been on 18303. We did an evening tour with it, but I just didn't get round to doing a video. I was too busy gossiping and having a chinwag with everyone. And I just haven't been on 19107, that is the toast rack. I do really want to go on both of them. And I just haven't had a chance to do it yet. It seems to be the case that there's a few days where they're both out in service, and I'm working, I'm driving at the same time. It's always the way, and I'll always be driving when they're both out. When I'm off, neither of them are out. But then when I'm actually working, they're both out, and I pass them in service. That is quite soul destroying, especially with 19107, because I just haven't been able to get that one yet, and it has been a case of every time I have been off, that has also been off, and not in service. So it's quite annoying, but I will get there eventually. I will get them. I am determined. I mean, the peak size they're going into September on a daily basis, so I'll hopefully get a few, potentially, if I don't get them in August, get them in September. I wouldn't mind, as I say, getting these Salt Road eclipses in. I don't know how long they've got left, because I was legitimately planning a trip to Worcester to get these in and a couple of other bits. Sort of to get the eclipses in, do those bits, and then also explore some of the more rural services that First Worcester do. Some of the services that sort of head out from Worcester go to some quite random places, purely because it's just a really random thing. What the Worcester operation has always intrigued me, because it is just so random of an operation. There's just this little tiny city network, really minute city network, and then all the random, like there's a random express and then the random rural routes. It is really random. So it is an area I do really want to cover, especially sampling all of their random routes. Now, I do like random stuff like the First Plus E200s. I did go on a couple of them, of the Welsh ones when they were on loan to B Network. I did regret not going on more, although unfortunately time got the better of me. purely because I just haven't had time to go over to the B network recently. So time did get the better of me, and they have now gone off loan. However, I do understand that Worcester is getting quite a few, so hopefully we can still get quite a few first style E200s in, because I do find them pretty cool. I do like my E200s. I like to go on them as a passenger, and I do like to drive them. So I do. I am a big fan of E200s. It's one of my very random quirks is that, because there'll be a few of you watching this and listening and going, E200s, really? Yeah, I do like E200s. It's my weird quirk. So let's pull into the X4A stand. Sorry, I mean the 16A stand. And go to Redcar and Middlesbrough. Now I mean Adstow. And there we go. We'll end our trip there. So, that's it's always the lighting has been nailed as well for this. I don't know if it was intentional, and I know I will get a message to answer regardless. However, there we go. However, either way, the lighting is always perfect when I arrive here. So there we go. So that was the 16A from Adstow to Castleton. I do hope you've enjoyed it. It's been nice to have a natter about the channel, about what's going on, and about Worcester as well. Because it is somewhere that, when this repaint pack was released, it was somewhere I was like, oh yeah, I was supposed to go there. And just hadn't got round to it. I mean, life can be so busy sometimes. However, I do need to start making time to do these trips and do these bits of exploring in between. Keep life exciting and keep me on my toes as you do. But anyway, I do hope you've enjoyed this video. Do send me route suggestions for my next video. I am interested in doing the return leg of the 16A again in one of the Salt Road liveried eclipses, although I do know we have done it in an eclipse. So if you want to see that on a different route, on a different map, please do let me know. But for now, I do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then do be sure to click that like button so that more people can find it and enjoy like you have. And if you haven't already, do be sure to subscribe to the Bus Videos YouTube channel for more content like this on the simulation section, with videos up twice a week, especially from September onwards. As I say, life's a bit busy at the moment, so that I'm not being as consistent as I usually am. As well as an archive of over 6,000 backseat and engine-focused public transport videos from the UK and beyond. With buses, trams, trains, more, there's something on there for everyone, with additional 21 of those videos added guaranteed every week. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this one, and I will see you all in the next video I make. Bye for now. Bye!